Hello, this is TechMan88, and I came up with this little mini-game kind of thing that's kind of productive at the same time. It's basically trying to speed farm. So you're just rushing through the sugarcane here, and you're trying to aim pretty precisely and do everything really perfectly so you don't tear down the bottom sugarcane. Obviously, you know about sugarcane harvesting. So I also wanted to cover some of the Tweakeru techniques that I've been learning and using and just pass along some of that knowledge. But the main thing I wanted to make this about is Tweakeru and some of the modes that you can do with that to really help up this kind of like massive terraforming and mining and stuff like that. So basically there's the fast block placement. I've got a hotkey bound to that, and that's G. And you see it's a mode layer. So you control that thing, like let's see, if I do face, then I can only place against a face, and when I move around, yeah, it's only going to place it in a straight line, so that's good. That's like what it's by default. But then there's this mode, layer, which is locks it to the same Y value, so I can hold down the right mouse button and just move the mouse everywhere, and it's only going to place on that single layer that I started on. So to switch between these modes, it's hold down Z and then press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 different modes. Those are set by default. The ones that are really useful are face, which is where you can place up like that. The other really useful one is not diagonal, but let's see, layer. Actually, that's number 6. So the layer is just going to lock it to one Y value. Then I guess there's other ones like, let's see, yeah, plane. I think this lets you build like a vertical wall. Actually, I don't know. I don't know the difference between plane and layer, but I found layer to just work more reliably. I think, yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Then like line, I don't know how useful this is. It just lets you make a plus sign. And then diagonal is kind of like that. It'll just make an X like that. But I don't think these are useful. I think it might be better just to bind the layer and the face ones to keys you can easily access, because Z plus the number is not that intuitive. So Tweakeru isn't really set up at all when you first get it. You got to set it up yourself if you want to make maximum use of it. So if you hold X and then hit C, you get into the configuration menu, and these are some of the things that I've configured. Fast block placement, I just bound that to G. It's pretty easy to hit. And then I have left shift plus G, that's the fast right click, which is kind of like fast block placement, but it just kind of goes wild. I'll turn that on. So you can just place everywhere, kind of like that. Now there't another essential hotkeys. I'm just really going through the essential ones right now. In my opinion, you don't want to always have this flexible block placement on, because it can interfere with some things. So I have it bound to X plus F, which is logical because it's kind of similar to the rest of the ones. So this is really nice if you're in a situation like this, the flexible block placement. And people might consider this cheaty, but like it means you can easily build down. Like in a skyblock world, this would be, well, I guess probably considered cheating to some people. But it's really good for redstone, and you can also place with an offset like that. Really cool. And that's just, by the way, holding down control and then right click to just place a block like that. So just these hotkeys, the fast block placement and the restricted modes, Z plus the number, is just really, really nice for a situation like this, like where I'm terracing and everything's pretty much at like regular areas. Just very easy to put it all together. And one thing that's really nice is that you can move your mouse fast like that, and just really, like with the face placement, like I shouldn't technically be able to place some of these blocks, but I can. I guess Tweakeru is just pretty well written. So yeah, I'm just finishing up another layer of this terrace. Let's see, I guess I should be in plane mode for this. The layer mode. Yeah, and it can take some getting used to how all the stuff works together, but I definitely highly recommend it. It takes a lot of the tedium out of playing Minecraft. So there's another really nice use of the plane alignment is for doing something like this. Like, look at this. I can run and jump and fill in all the ice, and I just ran out of ice. So this was actually just kind of mind-blowing to me doing this. So the way that I do it is I just, of course, get it started. Then, So basically when you do this, you want to get it started and you want to start running forward and sprinting and never stop. So I'm not letting up the right mouse button here. So I can keep my sprint and yeah, I never stop walking forward either. So I'm missing a couple because I'm dropping frames, I guess. So what I did with the ice is also, of course, usable. So as I was recording this, I was wondering why I kept dropping frames here, and I think this is a bug in 1.14. I've seen this in one other place where if I go over some imaginary border, it freezes up for a second. So I tried lowering my my view distance to pretty low. I was hoping that might fix it. Yeah, so I don't think it's related to like putting stuff into video memory or something. Yeah, I have no idea what this is. It's just one of those things in 1.14, one of those features that, well, bugs that they just didn't notice, and they should really, really release 1.14.5 and address these things. Like this in particular, I only know what's going on. I mean, I don't exactly know what's going on. I know that this is just going to happen in certain spots, and you're just going to have to stay away from them. But anyway, yeah, the point isn't not to rant about Mojang again. The point is just showing you that this plane placement mode is also very useful for many steps in this process. This would normally be a really tedious farm to build, I think. But just with this Tweakeru and just knowing how to use Tweakeru, yeah, there it went again. Just knowing how to use Tweakeru, it becomes really, really fast and not painful at all. More of a thinking exercise. So again, the layer placement is really useful for putting down the sugarcane. So what I do is just kind of aim forward. I'll turn it off for a second. So I place it there, then I'm going to place the next one against that one. So this is just happening in fast motion. And it seems to get over plants like this most of the time. Yeah, that can be a little bit finicky, but yeah, just more help. Seems to get over the grass pretty easily, and I usually just put it together like this, walk backwards, and yes, it froze again. So to wrap up the part on just the hotkeys here, there's another section called hotkeys, generic hotkeys in the configuration. So this is where the Z plus number happens, and you can see the reset isn't active, so I didn't change that. I guess I just changed one. Actually, I can just show that now. So this is a new thing in Tweakeru for, I guess, the 1.14 versions. If I hold down that mouse 4 button, then I can look around like that, and, well, this isn't really accurate, my sprite. But yeah, it's a pretty nice feature. I don't think it's quite done. I think there can be some improvements to this. But I like the way that they're headed. So if you're wondering why I'm building a sugarcane farm, there's absolutely no reason. I just saw somebody building one, and I figured it would be nice to have one. And also, I guess, just in case I'm running really low, I can come out here and just harvest a whole ton. Mostly want to decorate this area here. And I'm going to use that elytra hotkey again. So yeah, can look at it this way. Pretty convenient, actually. I think this is one of the better features they added recently. And of course I'm going to go over a couple more. Since this is a more casual video, I'm going to go over my world again. This is my old iron farm. This is a 1.13 iron farm by Comet 107. It's about 32 villagers or something like that. But it no longer works in 1.14, of course. And I've just been trying to improve this area, which is kind of what this video is about, with the whole sugarcane farm. So I'm heading towards that now. Right now I'm passing my vine farm over here. Yeah, can use that feature again. And this is the sugarcane farm that I built today just for no reason. And yeah, I want to probably convert this area into just a farm area or something. It's one of the few flat areas I have around here. And another thing I've done is improved this this spruce farm. This is really my most proud build on this whole world. And I've just added a little bit onto it. I just really like the way it looks. I think it makes a really nice centerpiece of the base. Just a nice tall thing that's functional and very, very useful. You might wonder why I have so much spruce wood. It's because of this farm here. Just very fast. Another thing over here is just another iron farm. I'll go into camera mode to look at this. So I improved my iron farm. I basically have this guy sitting on a slab in here. Can't quite see it. Yeah, it's a quartz slab. So, yeah, just moved back the carpets. I'm going to make a video on this later, but I just wanted to show a little bit of it now. It has a bigger spawning area, so I think it gets about 718 iron per hour. That's what I measured after like 100 hours of, no, more like 2,000 hours of testing. So another really nice feature is this tweakFlySpeed thing. And I set it up differently than as was intended, I guess. Basically, I reconfigured the fly preset 1 to 0.2. So when I press Control and that mouse button, it's going to let me go really fast, like this. So I think this is a much more useful way to use it, not have these individual fly speeds. I think the reason for those existing is if you want to make really precise movements. But I find it better just to have the single hotkey where I can turn it on and off. And by the way, this really, I think, is in the realm of cheating. So I would only use it if you just go back to where you started. And this is a feature that I think Carpet should have, is just when you go back to /S for survival from /C, like it would teleport you. So yeah, like say I press /S right here, it would teleport me back to where I pressed /C initially. So you can see under generic hotkeys, there's these fly preset 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't have any buttons bound to that. I think it just defaults to fly preset 1. So that's why I configured that to a fast value. 0.2 is actually very fast. And it's, yeah, quite nice to have that nice and handy on your keyboard and mouse. Just make maximum use of this mod. So now I'm just flying through the nether to my terracotta quarry, my modernized version that I'm just mining manually. And I want to show more of what I've been using with Tweakeru. There's a new feature that I'll show in just a second. So this is my modernized terracotta quarry operation where I'm just mining it by hand. And yeah, I've made a video before about why the terrain is like this. I actually used 1.7.2 terrain generation with amplified and then just imported that into my my single player world. So I really, really like this. The reason that I know about this is I saw one of Etho's videos a long time ago, and I saw that he had amplified and his Badlands, or whatever you call this now, it looked like this. And yeah, so I went through all the versions and figured out which version he was probably using and just searched through all of them and found out which one it was. And it was this one, 1.7.2. So basically in this operation, I've got a couple things. I've got a cactus farm over here. This was actually featured by Izumavoid on his channel. You can probably just build it from looking at this. It's really not complicated. And there's just like a sensor here which detects when the number of items gets too low. So this feeds the Furnace EXP farm. I'll just toss those. So yeah, it just looks like that. And comes along this way. Go back into camera mode. And it feeds this. This is actually Amango's design for Furnace EXP farm. I have another design, but I wanted to try his. This repairs a full pick durability. So yeah, a bit more EXP. I guess I can just do this now. And over here, this is where the items come in. So I would be mining over here, just toss on the items, and they would come down into here. And this is, again, Elmango's design for a hopper loader, or shulker loader. And it just puts it into the water stream, then puts it into the storage over here. And I've got quite a few already. So a really nice feature for mining is also in Tweakeru. I'm going to go look at that now. So I use button 4 to tweak hold attack, which is going to mine and stuff. Just basically hold down the left mouse button. And then I'm also using the snapping feature, just by default, didn't change anything. So what I can do is press this button, and it's going to lock my aim. Like, if I look around, it's just going to snap like that. So this is nice for something like this, where you really set up your mouse position precisely. And yeah, that sort of thing can happen when you're doing it like this. It's quite nice. So I just can run along like this and do like this. And I'm still kind of working out what's the best way to do this. I think there's an optimal way. Like, there is some problems with like moving too fast. You want to make sure you're mining out every single block with the Instamine. But yeah, pretty much like this. And by the way, when you press the button to disable it, I'm just going to do that right now. It's still going to be holding down the left mouse button, so if I look around, it's still going to be mining. So just to fix that, you just click, and it'll bring it back to normal. But once I'm done filling up my inventory, nice thing about this is I can just toss all the items in. And this is actually a item scroller feature, which is another Masa mod, same guy who made Tweakeru. So I can just throw in all the items at once. And I'm actually going to go into camera mode again using carpet, and can see them coming into the item sorter or circle box loader. So yeah, I just have a bunch of these to handle the amount of items that you'll get, like at maximum mining speed. I think about 10 is about right. And items, they can just go around again if they didn't get picked up the first time, which can happen. So there's one more use I'd like to show, which is the periodic attack feature and periodic use. So I'm using this with doublemoses raid farm, which is actually pretty amazing. Basically, what I have going on is I'll go into configuration again, and I have X plus A. I have that bound to tweak hold use, and then also tweak periodic attack. And I also tweaked, I changed the periodic attack frequency. So where is that here? Periodic attack interval. So I changed that to 1.5 seconds or 30 game ticks. Another nice feature of Tweakeru in some situations is like this, where you're placing chests down. So I want them orientated like that. So basically I can do the face placement mode and then do it like this. Quite easy. And then again with the hoppers, I can do the same sort of thing. I gotta like put myself over here to make sure it happens correctly. So yeah, this is my storage for the raid farm. Also, just by the way, if you're worried about getting emeralds in 1.14, this should put to rest your worries, because you can just sit here and use this automatically. And there's another thing, F3 plus P. If you turn on that pause unless focus disabled, make it disabled, then when you tab out of this, just in case that happens, you can keep running it. And if you don't know how this raid farm works, basically you have guys set out here, the guys with the banner, they will start a new raid. So there's villagers down there and way down there. And basically when I jump into this hole, this is going to activate a bad omen. So I can do that now. So I'm going to get up to the top real quick using the camera mode. Carpet feature, by the way. So all the raids are going to spawn up here really quickly. They're tricked into thinking they're already dead as soon as they spawn. So this is the machine that takes care of this. This is doublemoses design. And yeah, I would check out his video for a better description. But yeah, they're basically held up here for a while, and the big guys are killed, these Ravagers. And then there's just a big timing circuit that will eventually let them fall down. And I may try to come up with a better design than this. I have one in mind, but I haven't worked on it yet. But anyway, this is the reason that 1.14 isn't so bad. You can get plenty of emeralds. You don't have to bother with like trading a bunch of like farm products, carrots and potatoes, whatever. But yeah, when you're done with this, you would leave through the portal and not just like float away, like fly away in your elytra. So yeah, when you're done with this, you would leave the guys up there and just travel out, so you don't have bad omen, and when you come back you can quickly get bad omen and instantly start the raid.